gentlemen of Bungle. Hope you're doing well, and I hope you are having a great day. Today we're going over the StuG III A, a premium tank destroyer that you can pick up for the Axis in the Battle of Moscow campaign. Now diving down to an overview, you may be asking yourself, Bungle, what is the StuG III A? Well, the StuG III A is a premium vehicle that is obtained in the Logistics tab for the Axis in the Battle of Moscow campaign. It's going to cost you roughly $50 or 4,700 enlisted gold. So diving down to the performance, real question, Bungle, how does the StuG III A perform? Well, the StuG III A is a casemate tank destroyer. What I mean by a casemate tank destroyer is that it doesn't have the option of, let's say, a Panzer IV-E or Panzer II, where it has a turret on top where you can rotate around 360 degrees. A casemate tank destroyer is pretty much locked in a limited gun traverse range, usually in the front of the vehicle, where it can fire at targets. So the StuG III A main armament is a 75mm StuG 37 cannon. Now this comes with two different types of rounds. You have your armor-piercing cap, ballistic cap shell, and your higher explosive anti-tank round. You also carry smoke rounds as well. One of the things to note with the gun is it is a short 75mm cannon. So as a result, the reload is very, very quick on it, but its penetration values are going to be lower. The armor-piercing cap, ballistic cap shells of the short-barreled 75mm StuG's cannon will perform well against lightly armored Soviet vehicles. However, you start facing T-50s or even T-34s, you're going to need to load the high explosive anti-tank round. Now, even the heat round does suffer from penetrating a T-34 or a T-50 just because this is a short-barreled 75mm cannon. Now, of course, it will penetrate roughly, I would say, 75% of the time. However, keep in mind, with the armor of the StuG III A, you're really going to be taking a lot of hits, and sometimes we'll get one-shotted even by a 45mm round from a Soviet tank. Especially the 76mm round is going to go through this like butter. A 45mm round definitely will go and damage the crew, take out roughly 2 to 3 crew members, and can get two-shotted very, very easily. Another factor to note is that the StuG III A does not have a coaxial machine gun. So keep this in mind when you're using the StuG III A, is that you're going to be kind of finding yourself in situations where there's going to be a bunch of enemy troops and really going to have to rely on that quick reload to use their high explosive anti-tank rounds to cause damage to enemy forces, because at the end of the day, high explosive anti-tank rounds does kind of perform as a HE round as well when you're dealing with enemy infantry, but the army piercing shell isn't really going to do much, especially against a swarm of enemy forces. Now diving down to, is it worth it? Bungle, is this worth picking up? Is this worth the investment? Well, I've been getting a lot of kind of comments and people messaging me on the official Bungle Discord about, Bungle, I'm looking at getting the StuG III A, or, when's the review coming for the StuG III A out? And I figured, it's about time I go and kind of cover this premium vehicle. Here's my thoughts on the StuG III A. I do not recommend the StuG III A. Pretty much the reason why is that the Panzer IV-E, the premium Panzer IV-E, that's roughly for the same price of $50, is a way better investment. The Panzer IV-E has a turret. Right away, you have 360 degrees capability of protecting your vehicle. The StuG III A is only limited in looking frontally at enemy forces. Another thing to note is that the Panzer IV-E does come with a coaxial machine gun. So this is great at mowing down enemy forces that are trying to swarm your tank or get a jump on you. Whereas the StuG III A doesn't have that capability, and it's just relying on the 75mm cannon. Now, the Panzer IV-E and the StuG III A do have a short-barreled 75mm cannon, and they both carry high explosive anti-tank rounds, but the Panzer IV-E does carry way more rounds than the StuG III A. So at the end of the day, for the same price, I'm going to have to recommend the Panzer IV-E. At the end of the day, the Panzer IV-E is just leagues better than the StuG III A. The Panzer IV-E has a 360-degree turret capability of protecting itself from enemy tanks, as well as enemy forces that are trying to sneak attack on you, and a coaxial machine gun, which is great at dealing with enemy crowd control, especially for enemy infantry. Other than that, if you're just playing a video, a new viewer, possibly subscribe. I hope today is the day that I earn a subscription. Have you sub and smash that like button. It does help me with the YouTube algorithm. A returning sub, returning viewer. Let me know your thoughts. Other than that, I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.